Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are on the free-to-play The Road to Ultra Nightmare. I've got my coffee right here, and it is delicious. I finally decided to add a little sugar. Something I kind of, cut out the little bits of sugar in my life where I don't need it. It's amazing with the sugar, I have to say. Very, very good. But yeah, that's where we're at today. It is day 46 right now, so finally got rid of all those stupid little accessories. Don't have to worry about that. As far as like what I've been doing, been farming a lot of spider. We have a spider tournament going on right now. We do have a lot of that. You'll notice I did actually go ahead and get some of those revenge rings or accessories because, why not? I figured I'd spend my clan gold on something, and that's what I ended up spending it on. It was Sunday yesterday, so today's reset day. I kind of forgot that was coming, like totally forgot that was coming. Went to bed really early yesterday and just slept for an ungodly amount of time. It was really kind of insane. So we got some stuff. I haven't even looked at it, honestly. These, God, I wish I could get some speed on some of these things. It looks like we're getting some decent rarities. We were in gold 5. That is definitely a good thing for us. So the rewards are definitely better than they normally would be, which is great, honestly. Most of these things, I don't really feel a real intense need to sell any of this, so that's good. Okay, that's an interesting piece. I definitely don't like attack percentage as gloves. I think it's the worst. If you're gonna have an attack-based champion, that means it's only a damage stat, which means I'd prefer crit rate or crit damage, but not bad. If we ever get a bomber on our team, that might be a good one. I do have these amazing boots and this helmet, which is decent, and some decent, weapons here. So those are some things I should build up at some point. Got a nice little, that's pretty bad, but it's got a little speed on it. So I'll hold on to these things for the moment. No need to sell them immediately. Okay, crit rate, not bad. Nothing really good there. Didn't really get anything great from Clan Boss this morning either. I did get all my rewards already. I woke up and I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Why did I not do anything? And that's why. So, yeah, I explored a little bit. I did rank up my Kale to 5-star. And the reason why I did this is we had the dungeon open and one of my quests was to beat the boss. And I was like, okay, we're just gonna get Kale ranked up. And the Dark Elves, I don't regret that. I think Kale's actually gonna be really useful for me right now. He's definitely useful in the Doom Tower secret rooms with the rare only requirements. So this is somebody I don't have any problem taking a 5-star. I had some like food just kind of accumulating. I do think I have enough food right now. Take some up to 5-star if I need to. I made this guy some food. I don't really have any other food chilling there, but I've got some other stuff kind of going around. So I have a couple chickens laying about in my tavern here. Let's see here. Can I rank? See, I got 2 5-star chickens laying about up there if I wanted to. Yeah, I got those 3. I have enough 4-star chickens too, I think, to or like, I can get there. Look, yeah, I got 4-star chickens coming out the wazoo. So I have enough where if I pull somebody or if I need to get someone to 6-star, I can do that pretty quickly, I think. So I'm not at that point right now. I know that's kind of, where you want to get people 6-star, but I'm still waiting for somebody to really shine. And we have double time sacreds, not this week and coming up, but the one after. And I'm probably going to wait till then before I take anybody to 6-star. In the meantime, I will be trying to make more of these champions 5-stars, champions like Genbo, champions like Dahi. Definitely are ones I want to get up. Bellhound actually has been really powerful for me right now. So these are all champions I'm going to want to take up to 5-star in the meantime. One of the things I actually wanted to do, and I thought today might be a good one for it because I've been meaning to do this anyhow, is talking a little bit about Arena and what am I doing for Arena? How am I farming in what I think doing a pretty successful job? Now, there are people already in this competition that have a level 10 Great Hall. I am not among them. I don't enjoy Arena that much to spend all my time. I haven't felt it was worthy to spend my gems on it to refresh and find people to fight, though I can see that being actually a pretty good argument to do. One of the things I have done, you can see I put, level 1 into all the Great Halls. Now, they're is a little bit of a ranking system going on with Great Hall development. So that might have been the reason why I did that. But obviously all these little things help, right? A little 2% extra defense or HP, very valuable. 5% resistance, nothing wrong with that. More crit damage, I will take it, right? These are all things that are good for us. But right now I basically have 3 areas that I'm ranking up to 5. Because you need to get 3 of them to 5 for the missions, right? And then you need to get 1 of them to 10. So the 10 will obviously be my accuracy. Yeah, I've spoken about this before, but I feel like accuracy is the most valuable. And I know there's some debate on this. And honestly, I can't say that it is definitive one way or the other. There's so much more accuracy gear in this game. There's accuracy chess pieces. There's perception gear, accuracy gear itself, that I can understand thinking that accuracy is very easy to attain. We don't need to rank that up right away. I totally get that. My feeling has always been that if I have an extra 80 accuracy, which is what you get at rank 10, what does that mean for me? It means that it's going to be that much easier for me to actually gear out my champions. I can often forego having an accuracy banner if I use perception sets. So it only adds to what I can do with my team. And for me, that's more valuable. Having crit damage, definitely great. More damage is good. But obviously this only really, I don't know. I feel like it's mixed bag, right? I don't feel like this is as important. But then again, for me, Arena is not as valuable as other areas of this game, right? So I do understand the value of this, and I think it's probably the second most important outside of accuracy, with resistance coming in third. And the only reason why resistance is so low on that is because it's really high level content that you need resistance for, and it's usually a select few champions, not your entire team. So the value of it is less important in my mind. But obviously every team and every account's gonna be a little bit different. You have resist focused champions, then resistance becomes more important, obviously. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one that comes out. And of course, if you enjoyed today's music, we have that link down below in the pinned comment and description of this video, and you can use code DeadwoodJedi, save yourself 15%. And of course, if you want some account work, you don't like doing the work yourself, I'm more than happy to do it for you. My team is at the beck and call. Just visit my website, DeadwoodJedi.com. But my goal is to get, I think, crit damage here. We're gonna get this to 5. And then once I get that to 5, I'm going to be focusing on the magic, because all my champions are magic right now. Getting that to accuracy 10. And then I'll try and get all the accuracy up to 10 is probably my goal. I might, take a little time and get some of these up to level 3 or something. Getting a little bit extra defense and HP on your champions is definitely valuable and something I've always, had some kind of focus on, but I don't think it's like super crucial. Anyway, that's that. But whole point of that is, what are we doing in Arena right now? Because I feel like I'm doing pretty decently, even if I'm not, what I would call crushing it along the way. And the basic thing is, in Gold 4, in Gold 5, there's a lot more people that understand that you're not going to fall out of this. So setting a weak defense and allowing you to get hit more often is valuable. Now, no, I have not done that. Still trying to climb a little bit, and I never get enough fights where it's really an issue for me. And so I don't really have a problem with it. Plus, anybody with a decent team is probably going to be able to beat mine. We're still very, very low level. So I'd rather try and survive as much as possible at these early stages. Later on, when I have a top tier team, I can set those one-man defenses, and it's not going to be a problem for me, and I'll be able to find easier teams to farm. But what I kind of want to talk about is 3v3 Arena, because obviously, I got to put 12 champions together. I only got 5 that are 6-star. So how do I go about doing this? Right? Obviously, some of these battles are very easy, but not all of them. And I can still win even in a fight. I think a fight like this, I should still be able to come out on top and be victorious and be able to take these guys down. And the real question is, how do I go about doing that? Right? These are not easy. Well, for me, it all comes down to formulating your team, right? What are you putting together and how are you making it work? Now, obviously, having the right individual champions matters, right? You need damage dealers. You're gonna want speed champions too, especially at these early levels. Going first is gonna be a huge advantage because we just don't have the protection otherwise. So how do I go about doing this? Well, it's gonna kind of depend on each individual team and setting it up in a way that's gonna be most beneficial for you. Now, these aren't perfectly speed tuned either, right? So I have to work within those limitations. So if we look at these teams that I have right now, let's look at this team right here, right? This is my first team. Obviously, Elva's doing the heavy carry. She's my fastest champion, 263 on the account, period. And she's going to help get block debuffs up, right? That's the big thing and make everybody faster. After that, I'm going to want to set up my Elhain. Now, Elhain's 286, right? Or 186, right? She's fast. She hits hard. I got her crit rate up to 100%. These are important things. So between Ugo and Frostbringer, they both go after Elhain. This is not ideal, but I'm not going to slow my Elhain down to make this work. Instead, I'm just going to help, hopefully, allow me to go through a second time. This is why I have these champions with Elva, because with her block debuffs, her natural healing, it's going to help keep my team alive. If somebody dies, she can revive them. I have two champions that can put up decreased defense in both Frostbringer and Ugo. Now, if I had my druthers, if I had the gear to do this, obviously Frostbringer would be going first, giving us an increased attack buff, as well as the increased speed buff she puts on. That would be helpful. Ugo would go second or third, depending, you know, one of those two would go after Elva. It doesn't really matter, but she puts up block debuffs or block buffs, as well as decreased defense. All of that would help set up Elhain, and this team would be much more successful. But man, trying to find 7 extra speed on Ugo is a bit of a trick. Let's actually go see if we can. Let's see if we can't actually speed up these champions at all. I don't think that we can. One of the things is I need accuracy on Ugo, right? So getting her, what do we need? An extra 7, 8 speed is going to be really hard, right? Now I could try to find just a glove with some speed on it and not care about the stats with it, but I don't have that here, obviously. I do have a weapon that I could do. I got this defensive chest piece in here in this category. Pretty solid. I mean, I could put an accuracy chest on her. That's certainly a possibility. At this stage, that's something I could do as well. I could swap out the weapon for something with more speed, but we do lose a significant amount of accuracy. And for her, accuracy is going to be most important, I think. So it's pretty good, I would say. Trying to figure out if there's anything I could do. I don't think there really is. Obviously, I could get more speed in one of these. I don't have any faster helmets in perception, right? So this is kind of the gamble. This is the hard part. It's like trying to figure out how to balance these things and make them work in a way that's going to help me. Now, I could swap this on, and then I could swap out something else with speed, but I don't have it even in. This one just gives me so much accuracy. I don't want to swap that bad boy out. That's just so nice. Why would I even consider swapping that out? I could put this in here for Ugo, right? So I could do befitting room this. Let's see if we can make this happen actually. Some live changes for you guys right now. Right? So if we swap that out, that gives us a little bit more speed. Have anything here with speed? No. So I'm going to be losing whatever speed I picked up right there. But yeah, it doesn't really it doesn't really benefit us at all. Yeah, it's the same exact speed. So that's not really going to change it. That would give us more accuracy, but makes her a little bit less balanced all around. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not making that kind of a move. All right, so that doesn't look like it's going to be a really good alternative for us there, unfortunately. But one of the things we can do, and I don't necessarily mind doing this, is we can always drop a few glyphs. So you can see I've got a bunch of 1-star glyphs. I'm not concerned about that at all. And being able to get some of these other glyphs up, I think would be, is not a bad thing to do. So if we can get any rolls, which of course we're not going to be able to do here, and it's going to be very, very frustrating, but we can maybe add, okay, 4 speed added. That's not bad. And I just don't have anything else with speed, unfortunately. So even so, we're still going to be short, pretty positive. We're going to be really short on speed. I don't really want to use it on this piece. This piece is so bad, but I'm probably going to be having it for a little while. So, okay. 186. That's as fast as Elhain. Okay, 186. So she might be going first now. We can definitely give that a shot and see. And then we want to look at Frostbringer, who's in my vault, I believe, and see if we can't speed her up. And I don't even have a helmet on her, so that's on me. That's on me. Okay, 186 again. That's an easy glyph, right? Now we're at 187. All right, look at that. Simple change, and all of a sudden we're there. And you'll notice, like, not everything's rolled up. I don't really care. Her job is to buff us, and that's pretty much it. So that's pretty good. All right, that's pretty good. And let's see how this team works now. It should work a lot better, actually. I didn't even think about it, but it should work considerably better now. And one of the things I can do is always, you know, you can set your presets, which is good, right? Start with Elva, Ugo, Frostbringer, Elhain. It's a pretty simple little setup. This is my other team here with the, this is one of my other options here. I've been going with something like this, actually. We start with Genbo and then we go into Dahi. And the general idea with this is by flowing from one to the other, we're able to set up these champions. Now, this again is going to be an issue. Like, if we look at the speeds, both Genbo and Dahi are very slow. And Dahi actually goes after Genbo, which is really not ideal for us because Dahi, you know, puts decreased defense out there. And setting up Genbo with decreased defense is 100% the better way to go with this. So one of the things we can do is you can go back and add a little bit of speed to Dahi. That would be good. Jareg here is kind of our protection, and Venomage obviously is our big damage deal. Now, these two are both on my clan boss team. They're obviously the fastest. I'm not going to be changing that. That would be very silly to try to do that. And so they're very, very effective for what they're doing, which I like. And then we have one other team here, right? And obviously we're, you know, basically relying on Deacon and Rhonda. I don't really need anybody else to make this team work. But I can bring in, you know, I did just bump up my Kale. Bringing in another damage dealer is not a bad way to go. And then bringing in somebody like Jizzo is not a bad idea either. Just provides a little bit extra protection. But something I want to do is actually bring in High Katoon, because High Katoon's going to add more speed for us, right? And so that's going to be beneficial for us generally, and not a bad way to go. She's barely geared out, and so it's not really going to matter very much at all. But, you know, that can be our approach there. And then with Deacon, you don't always have to set the presets, but I generally like to. So that's kind of our team that we have. I think this should work okay. Actually, we want to go down here. I want to use Rhonda to lock down this champion because they're going to be real annoying to deal with otherwise. And so, yeah, we're going to try this. Now, obviously, right, you can also see why I want to rank these folks up into 5 stars. So I'm actually really curious. I haven't spent a lot of time really fine-tuning this team, these teams, but it becomes really much easier once I do. All right, so Ugo clearly is still slower than Elhain, and that's something we definitely want to change out. And you can see there, you know, obviously we're going to take some damage along the way. There's a couple champions I'm a little bit nervous about here, but the block buff's super helpful as far as dealing with a lot of this stuff. I think we're going to want to take her out. She looks to be the most dangerous, and they are pretty tough, so this could be a little bit dangerous as well, just generally here, trying to deal with this. Now, I could revive Frostbringer, absolutely, but it's not super necessary. And the thing is, Elva is so very strong. I'm not nearly as concerned as you might be for dealing with a team like this, right? She's strong enough where I don't really have to worry about, you know, surviving a super long time or anything like that. Kind of handles work on her own. So I'm not nearly as nervous about it. But there we go. Okay, let's see if we can't hit him again. Boom. Okay, one more down. Shaman's down. I can pretty much auto at this point. We'll focus on their damage dealer, Elhain, and it's a wrap. That's not fast, but it's effective, and that's kind of the goal here, right? 3v3. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be fast. I just have to be effective. And this is a team. They have a couple of 6-star champions, right? And we're still able to take them down because our team is, you know, organized a little bit better than theirs is, in my opinion, right? They have Shaman to revive. They have 2 damage dealers, but they had no speed. They had no setup for it. And there we go. Now, Rhonda, all right, I do want to point this out. I just went ahead and attacked with Rhonda. I wasn't manualing. Usually I'm manual. There are times when I will like to auto focus that A2 ability and lock somebody's skills down. I find that to be beneficial a lot of times. I did not do that this time, so that's a little bit on me, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We're more than strong enough to be able to take these guys down, so that's kind of the good thing. Okay, I can pretty much auto at this point, right? Their ninja obviously is going to hit hard, but not hard enough where it's really going to concern me. you know, we have so much speed going on here, but more importantly, you know, Deacon and Rhonda are going to be able to handle business at this point. And Kale's a nice addition. Actually, that's a really nice addition. Gives me a second damage dealer. Here you can see Jarek does go first, which is good for us because it helps set up our protection. There we go. Now Dahi's going to go. Boom. Decrease defense. There goes Genbo. Perfect. 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 I love that. So it's kind of a cool, you know, I feel like even within the limitations of what you have, you need to be able to set your team up, right? So, you know, one of the things for me was, obviously I was very concerned with, you know, some of these all 6-star champions. I'm just going to skip. Look at all the easy fights. Why would I do the hard ones, right? But one of the things I want to focus on is, you know, I knew I had 2 solid teams, right? I had Elva as 1, and then with Elhain, that gives me, you know, protection and speed as well as damage. Great. My other one, I had Deacon and I had Rhonda. So I'm like, okay, well, we got speed and, you know, damage from Rhonda. So those 2 teams are pretty much set, right? Those are pretty traditional. And everything around that is just going to be to help them, right? Whether that's Ugo laying decreased defense, or Frostbringer giving us increased attack, or if it's, you know, Haikatun giving us a little bit more speed, or if it's, you know, somebody else along the way. I can't remember who else I have in on those teams, or if it's, you know, bringing in a second damage dealer like Kale to clean up what Rhonda can't. All that stuff is very valuable and good, right? I mean, to the point where like even I might even want to swap it around and have Kale paired with Elhain since she's a weaker damage dealer, and then we can have 2 big damage dealing champions. I think that would be an excellent approach to things, right? Those are all very strong possibilities as far as approaches to this. And she was too slow. Need 1 more speed. Can we get lucky? No. Yes. Okay, there we go. A little bit more speed. Now that'll work smoothly. But all that stuff is just me basically taking the time to consider, you know, how these teams work and find the optimal way in which to put them together. And then you have that 3rd team. The 3rd team's tough because now I got 2 non-damage dealers. I've got Jareg. I've got, you know, Jareg. I've got Venomage. These are non-damage dealers. So what do I do about that? Well, thankfully, being 6-star champions, they still hit decently hard. And then the rest of it is, well, let's set them up, right? Let's bring in Dahi and Genbo to hit hard, but also Dahi's going to bring that decreased defense. So I have a better way, even if they die, and they often die right away, I can at least have them coming in and setting up the next group. They, you know, on top of that, Genbo has that speed aura. So we have a better chance of going first in those scenarios than we would otherwise. And that just works a lot better for us, right? So that's kind of the idea behind it. And so obviously you gotta, you know, kind of fine tune your own teams, but you know, the main thing is very simple. Go first, so get a speed champion in your lead and build them fast, and then hit hard. Whether that means bringing in champions to set that up with decreased defense or increased attack, or just bring in a nuker that hits hard, right? However you want to do that, that's gonna be your best bet. Decreased defense, the break defense is really valuable. So I do encourage trying to bring that into every team. Not everybody has champions that can do that. This is why, you know, War Maiden is so popular. But if you can do that, 100% that's what you're going to want to do. Being able to set that up is really valuable. So that's definitely something you're going to want to do. But, you know, if you don't, even if you don't have a speed champion, bringing the speed aura can be really valuable too, right? At these early stages, having an extra 20 speed, 19 speed or whatever from the aura alone can be enough to ensure you go first. And, you know, most people can't field 3 solid teams. You know, that's a very rare thing. So most of the time you're just fielding 2, if that. And so being able to bring in a 3rd team is really valuable. Let's go ahead and try a tough one to end it off today. Now I think Bad Alcazar, definitely rough. There's a lot of healing in this group. So I think with this one, I think the Venomage group might be a good way to go. For this one, this looks really hard with both Still and Elder Scar. Could be really tough for us. And this one has Norog, which is definitely tough. So I think we're going to actually reverse that, put those up there and set it up. Now, I don't know if any of this is going to work. That's really important to kind of remember. None of this might work, but at least with this team down here, we're going to be able to attack and I think do a pretty decent job against them. Elva's there to revive people if we need it anyway and protect us from any debuffs like from Norog. The top team, we're going to be able to lock down Still the Drake is probably going to be my first goal, or lock down Elder Skrarg. So we'll have to see when we get in here, but for these, I'm going to definitely manual it, make sure that we're doing the best possible. Okay, so Deacon goes. Decreased defense is out everywhere. They all look like they have pretty low HP, so I think I can nuke them down, so I'm going to try that. Boom. Boom. We knocked out. Yeah, half the team is gone. Kale, come in to finish it out. Thank you. Sure, we can get increased speed buff. Doesn't hurt. But basically, at this point, I can auto. They don't have a revive. He was low health. There was no worries. All right, Jareg protects us. I'm going to wait. Battle Khazar's going to put a increase heal ability on them, and I want to wait for that to go out first. I think. Okay, that was not what I wanted to do, but okay, cool. Mistakes happen. There goes a decreased defense. We get a second attack. That's actually pretty nice. I don't know who to hit really. They have a lot of healing on this team and a lot of protection, which is a bit frustrating. But let's. Yeah, see, that's what I was afraid of from Battle Khazar. I really wanted to wait. On that. I think Gear Grinder might be the first person to take down, mostly because Gear Grinder is the reviver in this team, and that could be really problematic. Of course, in the meantime, most of our champions are probably going to die, so this might be the one that I lose. I usually wouldn't pick this fight. I'd usually just refresh to find something else, but obviously I want to give you guys something else to kind of see here. But yeah, this is usually why I would skip it. And if I had done it the right way, what I would have done is waited for Battle Khazar to put up the increased continuous heals and cleanse, and then come in with the heal reduction from Venom Age, and the result of that would have been much better. Okay, so block buffs, increased defense, or decreased defense, this is all good. And that's huge, because now we were able to reduce the damage from Norog there, which I think is absolutely massive for us. They have a couple damage dealers in Relic Keeper and Kale. Elhain goes down, but that's okay. This is why we have Elva on our team. Pretty massive, actually. We can see if we can't get. Let's see if we can't put a heal reduction. No, okay, failed attempt. That's all right. They're gonna go do their thing. I'm not as concerned about that. They don't have any revivers either, which is great for us. So we're gonna try to take out Norog, which is gonna be really tough and maybe not the best way to do this, but it's okay. Land decreased defense, we were able to, which is really good. All right, Norog's down. That's big help for us. He does damage reduction with his passive, and so being able to put him in the ground is definitely helpful for us. And this is where I'd say, like, I'm not concerned about Elva. She has such good, she's such a good kit, right? She can basically do all the damage on her own, so I don't have to worry about that. That heal reduction's a good time to try and attack Kale. And I'm basically just waiting for the revive from Elva to come back. There it is. Bring back Elhain. We need our damage dealer, which of course didn't matter. Usually she gets veiled, but in this case, that was not what happened. No. And I do sadly have to manual this as well. It's frustrating, but such is life. I mean, she might be able to take down Kale by herself. So it's slow going, but effective. If we can finish off Kale, that'd be huge. Please finish off Kale. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now I feel better about it. I don't care about Relic Keeper. Oh my god. Can't target anything. The whole like zoom in crit thing, I need to turn that off somehow. But yeah. Anyway, this should be pretty effective here. I think we're gonna be able to run through it and wipe this dude out. Getting Ugo back is a nice plus. But once we take out that damage, it should be fine. And this is obviously the advantage of having a reviver and an amazing champion like Elva. I don't expect everybody to build a team just like this, but you can see why I put that team together the way I did. And because with Elva, it makes it possible, right? And so being able to kind of pair your champions so that you're able to get the most success possible out of your squads, I think is really valuable. I see a lot of teams on here. I mean, a lot of teams that will do something like this, where they'll have one strong team, one medium team, and one weak team. And in the very beginning, absolutely great plan, right? Get your 1 or 2 wins every time. But once you get a decent amount of champions, it makes more sense to build them all to compete, because you never really know what you're facing until you're in it. And so having that flexibility is really helpful, right? Obviously, you know, every account's different. The champions you have is going to make a big difference with that. Anyway, today's video went way too long, and it was way too nitty gritty on it, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's something a little bit different. I haven't done like a real, you know, arena focused video like this yet. So anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around. I do appreciate it. And that's all we got for today. So until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.